Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading chapter 15 of from the book Teachings of Lord Caitanya. And yesterday we read that Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by the greatest sage, Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And how Srila Vyasadeva he came to the point of composing this greatest literary work. And Srimad Bhagavatam is is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, so we were reading about Srimad Bhagavatam and the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam yesterday in our reading. So today we'll continue. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then explained that the word projita in this Bhagavatam verse refers to the desire for liberation. So projita means the desire for liberation. Liberation means mukti kami. There is sakam uh, sakam devotees, and then there is mukti kami devotees. So mukti kami means sakam means in a material world only people they want some material happiness and material uh, things. That is sakam, and these mukti kamis are who want to go beyond this material cycle of distress and happiness, and they want to be at a steady level of peace and happiness. That is mukti kami. They want liberation from what? Liberation from this material cycle of distress and happiness. Sometimes there is, most of the times there is distress, so they want to come out of this suffering because they want to be happy. That is also, that is desire for liberation, and that is also a desire, that is an ulterior motive. So that is mukti kami. So this word projita in the Bhagavatam verse, it refers to this desire for liberation. One great commentator explained that the desire for liberation is the most obstructive stumbling block on the path of God realization. So if somebody is sakam, somebody wants some happiness, some wealth, something in this material world, such people can still take up Krishna consciousness, and it is easier for them to become pure devotees. Because if we see this statement, if we analyze this statement, that but those people who have a desire for liberation, that desire itself is the greatest obstructive stumbling block on the path of God realization. But if one somehow or other comes to Krishna and begins to hear about Krishna, then Krishna is so kind that he awards him means that person, Krishna awards such a person his own divine lotus feet as a shelter. Then the devotee or that transcendentalist means one who is doing karma in karma gyan, uh, or who is doing karma yoga or gyan yoga, uh, they are also transcendentalists. So if they come to this point where they start hearing about Krishna, then Krishna is so kind that Krishna awards such persons, such transcendentalists, his lotus feet as their shelter. Then what happens when Krishna gives the lotus feet as his own lotus feet as shelter? What happens? Such a devotee or the transcendentalist, they forget everything material and engages in the devotional service of the Lord. When one comes to the Lord in devotional service, see, again and again and again and again, Mahaprabhu, who is the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna himself, is saying how important is to engage in devotional service, even if it is with an ulterior motive. But if somebody comes with no ulterior motive, that is the best. But even if we have ulterior motives, yet we should engage in devotional service, because then what will happen? We'll become purified. All those ulterior motives will vanish. And then we will come in full Krishna consciousness. And this full Krishna consciousness is what? Thereafter we become purified, fully purified. So we become pure devotees. The reward is the Supreme Lord Himself for such a devotee. The Lord gives Himself to such a person. Once engaged for the Supreme, one, that is the person or the devotee, they no longer ask for anything, as do the distressed man and he who desires material possession. Somebody who is distressed wants to come out of that distress. Somebody who has desire for material possessions, they are hankering after it. But when somebody comes in contact with the Supreme Lord, Krishna has given himself to that person, then all that taste for all these lower material possessions and I don't want distress, I want happiness, all these desires are gone, because they are so much in transcendental bliss that it doesn't matter whether distress is coming or happiness is coming or some great wealth is coming or they are becoming paupers, they are becoming bankrupt. They are not bewildered by all these things, because they are relishing the bliss of Krishna consciousness, because now they are in they are in direct they are directly connected with Krishna is reciprocating with them, and they have understood that whatever is happening in their life is ultimately, who is the doer? The neighbor is doing everything. Who is the doer? Krishna is the doer, of course. A devotee knows that whatever is happening in my life, Krishna is the doer, and therefore they are not worried, therefore they are not bewildered, therefore they are never distressed. Why? So what? Krishna is the doer, so what? Arey, but I have distress in my life. Because a devotee knows that Krishna is their supreme well-wisher, and Krishna is the supreme proprietor. If Krishna wants to give you something, what can you take with these two little hands? And when Krishna wants to take away something, then what can you control with these two little hands? So devotee is always in that consciousness. Therefore, it is called Krishna consciousness. A devotee is always conscious of Krishna in every moment, in everything. Therefore, the reward is that the Supreme Lord gives Himself. That, array, now you take me only. Once engaged for the Supreme, one no longer asks for anything, as does the distressed person or the persons who desire some material possessions. The association of pure devotees, the causeless mercy of the Lord, and devotional service itself, these three act so wonderfully that one can give up all other activities and become absorbed in Krishna, whether one is distressed, in want of material possessions, inquisitive, or even if one is a wise man cultivating knowledge. Artho Arthi, Jigyasu, and what is the other one? Forgot. No, not this one. Yeah, Gyani, sorry. Artho Arthi, Jigyasur, and Gyani. So any whichever category they belong to, whether they are in distress, whether they want some material possessions, they are inquisitive, oh, what is beyond this, or how can I come out of this? Or if somebody is a wise man who is cultivating knowledge, who has lot of knowledge, who has read many things, and now they want to know more. Doesn't matter which category somebody belongs to, but when a person is engaged in these three things, what are the three things? Association of pure devotees. What is association? Does association mean that I am sitting next to a pure devotee? Is that association? Or uh, um, pure devotees are sitting, they are speaking amongst themselves, and I am also sitting next to them, but I'm checking out my WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm posting, I'm making sure that I have more followers. Is that association? No, that is not association. You may be somewhere hundreds of miles away from the pure devotee, from the spiritual master, but you are constantly connected by listening to his Vani. Vani means the words, the words that are emanating from his lotus lips. You're constantly listening to what Guru Maharaj is saying. You're listening to the classes. You're paying attention to what instructions Guru Maharaj is giving you. You are connected with a bona fide disciple of your spiritual master, and you are constantly taking guidance from such a disciple, such a bona fide representative of your spiritual master. You are under guidance. You are not thinking, okay, my life, my choice. If my life, my choice, then you are most welcome to, live your life, your choice. But if somebody is determined that no, this life, I have decided that now I want to go beyond this. I'm done with this material world. I'm I have come I have no taste in this material world. I want to spit on this material world, and I want to spit on everything that is material. I don't care about happiness. I don't care about distress. I will do my duty and everything as an offering to the Lord, knowing that Krishna has given the situation to me, and I'm doing it as my service to please Lord Krishna, to please my spiritual master. Therefore, I'm going to do everything very nicely, but I will not get attached to this. Unless somebody is so um, frustrated and not frustrated, disgusted of this material world, it is very difficult to get attached to Krishna. But they have very um, some people are very fortunate that they may be coming from such a background that they have lot of attachment towards the worldly pleasures. They have lot of wealth and nice family members and everything perfect, but yet they come in association of the pure devotees, and they develop such attachment towards Krishna just by hearing from the pure devotees, hearing the glories of the Lord from the pure devotees. They develop such attachment that it is not very difficult for them to let go of this attachment. And there are so many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ambarish Maharaj, he was the king of the entire Bharatvarsha. And Bharatvarsha at that time was not some just India. It is called Bharatvarsha. This Vedic system is not just about India. There were no partitions. There was no uh, USA and UK in those times. Those have happened very recently. Bharatvarsh is this entire globe. So Ambarish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, for them they had everything, but they were not attached to their possessions. They were attached to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So with the association of pure devotees, first is association of pure devotees, hearing from the pure devotees, taking instructions from the pure devotees, applying those instructions in your life, not just taking and then I will do as per my choice, but I've taken instruction. No, when you take instruction means that you follow those instructions. Then second is the causeless mercy of the Lord. When we surrender ourselves to a pure devotee, then the Supreme Lord showers his causeless mercy. The Lord is very merciful. And what to speak about those devotees who surrender themselves at the Lord's feet? Lord becomes most merciful. So causeless mercy is showered upon that devotee. And third is devotional service, not just sitting there. Now I've received mercy, okay, I'm so happy. Let me just sit. Not like that. So we have to engage in devotional service. Activity is important because we are we are the nature of the soul is, the nature of the mind, the nature of the soul is that it is always active. We want to do something. So therefore, that something has to be dovetailed towards the Supreme Lord. And how is it dovetailed? Whatever activities you do it for the Lord. If it is not favorable in Krishna consciousness, then you don't do it. If you do not see that, oh, there is no way that this activity has any connection with the Supreme Lord, then there's no point of doing such an activity. So you give it up. Sarva dharman parityajya. But what activity is favorable and what activity is not, we may not have that intelligence, and therefore we must take guidance. Before we take any decisions, we must take guidance from bona fide representatives of the pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee, therefore we must read Srila Prabhupada's books. Then we will know what is this philosophy. Then we will know what is Krishna. Who is Krishna? What are the qualities of Krishna? If we do not read Srila Prabhupada's books, then we will not be, we may do Krishna consciousness for some time. We may be in the movement for many years, but will not go anywhere because we do not know what is our goal, because we do not have any foundation. So therefore foundation is important and knowing the goal is important. And then how do I proceed towards the goal? Very, very important aspect. Just being in the movement is, no, it is good, rather than not being anywhere and just roaming in the three worlds, sometimes in the patal lok, sometimes in this lok, sometimes in swarga lok. Rather than doing all these things, sometimes ant, insect, all these things, it is better that you are in the movement. In some lifetime you may come back, but if somebody is serious, then why to take another lifetime? Let me finish this business in this life, this very lifetime. Why should I suffer another lifetime? I'm done. Suffer means what? Why should I forget Krishna again? Let me just give my entire manas deho geho jo kichu more arpilu tua pade nand kishore. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur is saying, Manas deho geho jo kichu mo arpilu tua pade Nanda Kishore. Hey Nanda Kishore, whatever you have given me, this body, this mind, this family, this wealth, this fame, this respect, position, material possessions, position in the society, everything, I am offering it at your lotus feet. Me and my everything, I completely belong to you. Do as you want. Make me dance as you want. This should be our only prayer. Make me dance. Make me a puppet in your hands. This should be our prayer to our spiritual master. This should be our prayer to the Lord. So we'll pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll continue reading tomorrow again. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for your most divine association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्रीमद श्रीला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई 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 गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि
हरि हरि बोल। श्री श्याम करुणामयी माता जी की जय।